Hey, it's Andy's free guitar chart videos here, about lesson 30, 31. The lessons and the charts are getting mixed up, but they'll hone in as time goes on. Every lesson's an adventure. I went back a few charts here in time to just pick it up from, just to put something different in front of me than the charts I've been working on for the past 2 days and nights that have some new patterns. But it's the same pattern. It's this pattern right here. This is the modal pattern, okay, that I've developed. This is unwarped. It means it's all P4 tuning. So if you were to say start this pattern on this string, and by the way, these are the note boxes, okay? The strings would be as if I type these letters here in strike through. You know what strike through is? It's a letter with a line through it. That line through it, I don't know why people use strike through. I really don't know what they use it for, unless they just want to show that something is no longer in use. That's not what it means. It means, in our case, it would be strike through would mean that's where the string goes. So the string actually goes like kind of here. Can you kind of see it? That's where the strings are. Okay, so over here, that's, if these continued on, I have to draw them with rectangles with zero height here. But if they continued on, that's where they'd be. That's where the strings are. So in this pattern, these are the note boxes. You can just imagine that the notes are there. And it's the numbers to remember. The reason why these are black is because this is the actual pattern here. Okay, this is the actual pattern that I just kind of squared off. That's the actual pattern. This black line is the beginning of the the repeat of the pattern. This is the end of the pattern underneath it. See, 2, 3, 4 would be the top. So this is the pattern that I developed, and what's new about it is, of course, that it's been implemented as an official pattern. It's not just a lost pattern somewhere. We go over here and look at this. Now, I don't know if we can get it, but we can certainly get a look at them individually. This is the long pattern that I implemented when doing scales, open scales. Because let's say if you have an E way up here on the bar, and then the E would be down here, right? But E way up here on the bar, you would go, say, pentatonically. Okay? But if my finger is the fret nut, we can't get this stuff. Okay, so right there, that's 3 notes there, and we can't get the 7th either. The 7th is kind of part of the diatonic scale. 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. Okay, 2, 3, 4, warp 5, 6, then 7 root. 7 root 2. Alright? And that reminds me, it's very important when doing patterns to count. Because once you know, if the pattern's too easy, for instance, this is a very easy pattern. 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you want to do it, say starting from the 5 of the G, of course I'm down C tuned, this is an A flat instrument. But on my guitar, I consider it a G. So it would be, I count these. 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is the top one. It's very important to count the numbers in your head, okay, when you're practicing the patterns, when you're not just focusing on the shapes. All right, now that one's easy because it's so square. But when you get to a pattern like, okay, not this one because this is the one I've been using all year. The new pattern, and I hadn't even brought it out yet. When I made this, I didn't decide that we were going to have actually a pattern. I'm going to square it off now, right here. You see this? And let me adjust line thickness here to about 12 pixels. All right. See that? Oh, wow, that's thick. So there we go. This, when I normally look at it, would be the top of one of the smaller patterns, the entirety of one of the smaller patterns, and the bottom of one of the smaller patterns. Okay? What that... Whoa, we keep having to go out of cursor mode here. Out of drawing mode into cursor mode. So over here, that's where this stuff comes about. So that block that we were looking at, okay, I would gather is this square right here. All right? So that the other patterns that we have, the S2L right here, is 2. Now let's adjust the thickness again of that line. Wait a minute, we don't have the thickness adjuster right here. Oh, that's too bad. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we don't want it that thick. We want it thick, we don't want it that thick. Anyway, as I was saying, sorry. This S2L was normally here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 R2. Okay, and then again after the S2L, the stack of 2 right here. Let's erase this guy here. After the S2L, then we have another S3S on top. So here's the S2L, 6, 7, R, 2, 3, 4. Very important to count these. You know why? Because they're in order. So it's real easy, and that's what we're getting to. So in this particular chart, when we have that square that I had squared off down here, that's the 16 boxes right here. If you look at these 16 boxes, they're really easy to play. Half step whole, half whole, whole half, whole half. You're going to do that on the guitar, all right? So let's say in the key of C, this is down tuned C, so it'd be your A flat, but all right, that would be it. It would be, you know, there's just this tendency to want to whip through it. How am I going to count? Well, don't look at it as the bottom one says, okay, this is the top of S3S, so it's 7 root 2. I know that. Then, of course, we're going into an S2L, so it's 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? Just count the whole. This whole thing can be counted from the 7 all the way up to the 4. So it's just 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. Right there. Count in your head. That's what I figured out last night. So we're almost finished the first segment. Here's where we're going to start on this pattern, and we're going to call this square right here a new pattern. Okay, and it's going to have its own pattern, and it's going to sit on top of this S3XL. So instead of calling it a S2L sandwich upside down, it's going to be an S4L. That's what that's about. And it plays fairly easily.